It's time to get lost in the Midcard. This Believe in Pro Wrestling property is brought to you by Bet Online, the continued #1 source for all your sports betting needs. Join now and receive your 100% welcome bonus on your first deposit when you use our promo code BELIEVE. Now, here are Jeremy Bennett and Matt Black on the Believe Podcast Network.
Yeah! Welcome to the podcast where you know you're over when your dark segment gets the most social media hits. It's lost the mid-card. Yeah! No LA Knight on Friday, but that was okay. We got a little LA Knight on the socials later on. It was planned, though. He didn't get bumped because the bloodline went over by double what they were supposed to have. They were supposed to go 20 minutes, went 40, which still, it was a good segment. I liked it a lot. We'll get into that and so much more. Thank you for joining us. We're back after a holiday break from the 4th of July. We are back. And Adam here for leading you up to Monday Night Raw, your official, unofficial pre-show. It'll be interesting to see what drops tonight on Monday Night Raw. Stephen Amell is in there. Oh, hey, Luke.
It's time to get lost in the
Stop the loop!
In pro wrestling.
The loop, they reformatted StreamYard, and so it looked like it was unchecked, but apparently that means it's checked. So, anyways, Stephen Amell is going to be on Monday Night Raw. And speaking of Stephen Amell, check out Believe in Pro Wrestling's YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and share with all your friends. Rick Uccino's got interviews with the cast of Heels ahead of season 2 coming up here. Of course, Stephen Amell, along with Alexander Ludwig, Mary McCormick, Alan Maldonado, Trey Tucker, and Robbie Ramos. Interviews with everybody there from Heels. So go check that out and subscribe. You can also subscribe to us or follow us on the Twitter. Matt is there at Raw F Showtime. I am there at JB Huskers. And we're also on Facebook as well with Lost in the Midcard. Just type in Lost in the Midcard. So there we are. As always, my co-host, Mr. Matt Black. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, man. I love the first season of Heels.
Yeah.
Excited that season 2's right around the corner. That should be some good shit, pal. I'm hearing a lot of good things from people who have seen some episodes ahead of time that are very high praising of season 2. Like they're saying it's a lot better than season 1. And I loved season 1, so like let's go.
Yeah, I gotta remember if I finished season 1. I gotta go look and see if I did. I can't remember now if I did or not. So thanks for everybody joining us live in the chat there. Appreciate hearing from all of you. If there's anything you want to talk about, any questions, any comments over the past 2 weeks, let us know. Of course, we were gone last week. So, of course, with Money in the Bank happening, I think overall it's a pretty good pay-per-view.
That was a great show. Great show.
I don't hate Damian Priest winning over LA Knight, though we all wanted LA Knight to win.
Dude, as soon as I saw Priest take the pinfall again on Monday, going into Money in the Bank, I'm like, man, he's winning this damn thing. Because WWE has this love, like almost in a borderline obsession, when leading into a Money in the Bank match, they'll have the winner like lose like 3 or 4 matches going into the pay-per-view, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, they're Money in the Bank, so it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
And I saw all those losses stacking up on Priest, and then they did it again on the Monday before. I'm like, man, I think he's winning. I think he's winning the briefcase.
Yeah, and then they give you another losing. Then they give you another losing streak when you do win the briefcase.
Yeah, it's they think you're invincible because you have the case on you.
I would have put the title on Balor though if you're gonna have Priest win. I think
that would have been fun as hell.
Just for that Just for that uneasy
for the
is that
dissension within the Judgment Day. I think that would have been great.
there's still uneasy feelings. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but I think it would have been even better with Balor holding the title and literally having to look over his shoulder at Damian Priest, who's standing there with the Money in the Bank briefcase, and any moment could just wallop him in the back of the skull and set up a match. I think that would have made for some really great TV. And I mean, look, it's still possible they go that route. Rollins could it seems like they might be building to a rematch between Balor and Rollins at SummerSlam, and if they are, like Balor could win then, and we could still end up getting the storyline. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see where they go.
Amazingly, we've got a lot of advertised stuff for Raw. That is because apparently word is they're trying to Vince-proof it by announcing things ahead of time, which is even funnier.
That's been their method over the past month or so for Raw and SmackDown. That's why they did that one SmackDown where they announced matches like 3 weeks out.
Yep.
They were literally trying to just prevent Vince from, coming in and fucking with shit. And, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, it seems.
Right,
so
Seth and Dom get a rematch for Money in the Bank. Cody Rhodes is delivering a special message to Brock Lesnar, whatever that means. Ricochet, Logan Paul face to face. Of course, they've been highlight reels ever since. Every time they're in the ring together, they've had highlight reels. So obviously, there's going to be a SummerSlam match there, which I'm happy for Ricochet to get a high marquee match like this at basically WWE's number 2 or number 3 pay-per-view, whatever you want to put it at. And Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle take on Imperium. That's what we got on the docket for Monday Night Raw. Also, God, there's more. Wow, I've never seen this much for Monday Night Raw. Tommaso Ciampa and The Miz seek to inflict punishment on each other in a no DQ match. And the Alpha Academy through a graduation ceremony for Maxine Dupree. So a lot of stuff coming up here on Monday Night Raw.
Hopefully that means it's going to be a good show.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get into the top story today. Boy, if you watched AEW Collision on Saturday, you were in for a treat. If you did not watch AEW Collision, well, you better go watch it because you would have been in for a treat. Literally, I would say this is definitely up there for one of the matches of the year this year. Tag team match of the year, definitely. Overall match of the year, definitely up there as well. With an eliminator match between FTR and Bullet Club Gold. Of course, how those work. Bullet Club Gold wins. They then get a tag title shot. And, oh boy. This thing was lengthy. Went to 2 commercial breaks. And after that second, the whole match was great, but after that second commercial break, just the pace, the action was everywhere. You got on the ropes, you got on the turnbuckle, you got on the outside. You got Jay White's spit hanging from Dax Harwood's belly. Near Fall City. This is a small crowd. People, of course, were making fun of somebody. I think it was the dude at No DQ. Shared this side by side of Madison Square Garden and Ontario or wherever they were. So I'm like, that's a stupid comparison. MSG is going to sell out every time WWE goes.
The guy that runs, I don't. It just honestly, some people would literally go out of their way just to antagonize.
Yeah.
The two sides of the coin, so to speak, to invoke negative. Activity. It's the worst.
Stupid.
I can't stand people.
That crowd
like
was.
Those people don't. Honestly, they don't belong in the lineup of what we do.
And that smaller crowd in Canada, man, they were tremendous for this match. They were loud.
It was easily my favorite tag match I've seen all year. I can't say it was my favorite match I've seen all year because there's been 2 matches between Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay.
Yeah.
But man, it might even still be in my top 5 of
then you got
my
Brian,
favorite matches of the year so far. It was tremendous.
Yeah, then you got Brian and Okada as well, and it's been a crazy
Just
year.
imagine how much better that would have been if Brian wouldn't have wrestled the last 10 minutes with a broken arm.
A broken freaking arm.
Freaking crazy, dude. That match is still amazing with that.
All right, so we're gonna give you the tag match of the year, possibly right now. And how are we going to follow that up? We're going to follow that up with a 2 out of 3 falls match. Is that next week, Matt? Is that
It's
right?
next week, dude.
Fuck, man.
Next week it's the Owen Hart Men Cup Finals, the Owen Hart Cup Finals for the women, and the 2 out of 3 falls match between FTR and Bullet Club Gold. That's what's been announced so far. Plus, it's a 3-hour show because Battle of the Belt 7 starts right afterwards. So, my God, pal. Like, the only match they've announced for that so far is Shawn Spears and Luchasaurus for the TNT Championship.
I have
But
never been.
I think that's gonna be a hell of a night on Wednesday. I'm freaking hyped up.
I have never been a fan so far of the Battle of the Belt specials because I don't know, they just throw them together. And
Well, I thought the first one was good.
Yeah.
And every single one since then, yeah, I will agree with what you said. It feels like they just
never do you feel a title's going to change.
Title matches and just throw them together. I imagine we'll have a Ring of Honor title on the line. We got the TNT title on the line, and we'll probably have Chris Statlander defending the TBS Championship. I mean that's honestly probably what I'm expecting out of it. It's never anything good huge, but when you add it in with a 2-hour live Collision, which has always delivered so far in their weeks that they've been on, I think it's going to make for a really good show overall.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm going to be staying home Saturday. I got a little DJ
They
event.
should do it. They should put the trios titles on the line on Battle of the Belt 7.
Yeah.
It should be Andrade and 2 mystery guys against the House of Black. That's what they should do. Hype that up and let people, speculate about who the mystery partners might be.
I've been annoyed with the Ring of Honor app, and I've been busy with work.
I just wish the fucking thing wouldn't log me out every week.
I know. So
that's my main annoyance with it.
So I haven't watched it in about a month. How's Ring of Honor doing right now?
It's fine.
What are the main things that we're leading up to?
The only confirmed match for their upcoming pay-per-view is it's Claudio and Mark Briscoe for the Ring of Honor World Title. And it was basically Eddie was like, I'm in Japan, I'm in the G1, I can't fight Claudio this month, but Mark Briscoe, I want you to step up and do it.
Yeah.
And Mark's like, yeah, I'll do it. And Claudio's like, you're not ready, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, so I'm sure the match is going to be good, but I don't expect a title change. So it's fine. Like I feel like the Ring of Honor product being paired with Dynamite and or Collision has hurt the brand tremendously this year. I think it worked a lot better when it was being filmed in Orlando at the Universal Studios.
Yeah.
But now that it's being paired with Dynamite and Collision, it feels like an afterthought brand. It really does feel like what they said it wasn't going to be. It feels like a developmental brand for AEW now.
And I'm just like, I haven't watched it in a month. It's like, do I continue my subscription or not? I don't know. It's tough to, especially that app is annoying to log in every time manually. Can't do it with a QR code or a code on the internet or anything. You gotta type it all in every time. And there's just so much going on right now. It's hard to keep up, but
there's a lot in 2023. There's no shortage of professional wrestling.
No,
it's what I say. We were at a point like several years ago when we were watching wrestling. It's like, man, it's not that good, but this is the only choice we have. And I'm a wrestling fan, so I'm going to watch type of deal. But now there is so much wrestling content on a weekly basis. And a lot of nights, there's multiple wrestling shows on per night from different companies. Like you literally no longer, if you truly don't enjoy a product, like if you feel that there is no redeeming qualities and you're not enjoying it, you don't need to watch it anymore because you can still get your fill, of the professional wrestling you enjoy on a weekly basis and not have to worry about it. Like my job is to cover professional wrestling, but honestly, dude, there is so much wrestling on now on a 7-day-a-week basis. Not even I can see it all. And if I can't see it all, like it's got to be a very, very, very small percentage of people that consume every single product every single week. because it's almost impossible at this point with the amount of wrestling that's on right now. It's crazy. Like
and now we're gonna you got Slammiversary is gonna be on at the same time as Collision on Saturday. I haven't even
literally we'll be going, thanks to Battle of the Belts, we'll literally be going head to head for the entire 3 hours.
Yeah, and I haven't watched Impact since the last it was Under Siege or something, whatever the last special was the last time I got to watch Impact. It's like I can't get everything in, and it's tough. It is tough to watch everything, and
I really wish Impact would go back to their Sunday pay-per-views.
Yeah, it's better than Friday at least.
Yeah, I mean, look, Saturday's better than Friday, but now still Saturday, it's like you're going up against free live professional wrestling from the second biggest wrestling company on the planet.
Yeah.
So it's detrimental to their brand. Honestly, if Impact can figure out a way to move their pay-per-views to Sunday and do their television tapings on Monday, and I know that goes head-to-head with Raw, but still, I think it would be more beneficial to Impact long-term, because I think more people would see their main shows and not really care as much about the weekly product. As long as you're seeing the main shows, you can keep up with the Impact product.
Yeah.
But when you're putting your main shows on Friday and Saturday nights against, the 2 top competitors in the industry, you're missing out on potential viewership that you're not going to get otherwise.
Yeah, it's tough, especially it's always baffling when they have those on Fridays, and now it's Saturdays. It's Collision, you can DVR it, that's fine. If you're truly wanting to see, like, obviously Slammiversary, one of the biggest pay-per-views of the year for Impact, so I could see putting that on the back burner and watching Collision later. But yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes with those secondary mini shows on Friday going head to head with SmackDown as well. I mean, you could still put SmackDown on the back burner if you want, but it's hard to do so sometimes. It's hard to pick and choose.
Yeah.
Kicking off Collision last Saturday, the semifinal of the Owen Cup, and Ricky Starks taking on Powerhouse Hobbs. Ricky getting the win as we predicted. It's going to be Ricky and Punk in the finals. Powerhouse Hobbs, is he leaving QTV? Maybe the addition of Johnny TV gave it enough room to force Powerhouse out. And
I think there's going to be a slow build to it. I don't think it's going to be immediate, but I do think in the coming weeks we're going to see a full-blown face turn from Hobbs again. He's going to be out of QTV, and that'll give him, honestly, that would be a perfect position to put Hobbs in the running to get the TNT title away from Luchasaurus. And at that point, he could actually have a run with it as a babyface. I would be interested in seeing what that looked like.
What match happens first, Hobbs and Johnny TV, or Swerve and Keith Lee?
Ooh. They're both gonna happen. You know what? I'm gonna say Swerve and Keith Lee
happens first.
I could be absolutely dead ass wrong on this, but for something tells me we're gonna see Swerve and Keith Lee in Boston on Blood and Guts night. Maybe I'm completely wrong on that. That's just me guessing. It's not anything that anybody has told me, but I feel like that match is right around the corner. And I think a big show like Boston with Blood and Guts and the eyes are going to be on that match. I think that's the perfect night to let them, finally get their one-on-one match to happen. I think we're going to see Hobbs and Johnny TV on a,
Rampage.
I was going to say, I hate to say it, but yeah, I was going to say like an episode of Rampage or something. Like, look, it's possible it could end up on Collision, but I feel like that's probably something that's going to end up on Rampage.
Miro talking about his hot double-jointed wife. Another great, hilarious promo by him.
I'm curious to know where this is leading.
Like that CJ Perry might be coming?
Well, no, because Miro ended the promo by saying that the big battle is approaching, and it's the one that everybody's been waiting for. So I'm very curious to see who he's going to enter into a feud with, and I'm kind of excited to see, what
Big
that's going to
battle.
be.
Big
So,
battle.
like, I'm not sure what the big battle is, and I'm not sure what everybody's been waiting on. I've personally just been waiting on having Miro back on my TV, so
Yeah.
I'm happy that he's there. But if this big battle is something, epic-wise for Miro, I'm freaking thrilled. I'm excited to see what happens. I don't think we're going to see CJ Perry there anytime soon, based on the way he mentions her in the promos. It doesn't feel like she would be. It doesn't feel like she would make sense to be part of his character at this time. Not
Yeah.
saying that it can't happen down the line, but I don't think we're going to see her anytime soon as far as the current character that Miro's running.
Willow Nightingale injured and could not compete. Hopefully they're going to get that match with Willow and Athena at Rampage this Friday. Hopefully we'll see if that happens.
Yeah, she's got to be cleared, and that means she needs to be cleared by Wednesday because Rampage is taped.
Yep.
In 2 days. It seemed like, from my understanding, it seemed like a concussion or something like that. So, what's up, Donald?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
So hopefully she's all right.
The fact that they're talking about it possibly happening a week later is you're probably right. Probably a concussion or something like that.
Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful she'll be cleared. If not, like, that's a real mess for the finals of that tournament.
A woman
sure
that
they had a plan, because to me it seems like the plan is Ruby Soho and Willow.
Yeah,
it seems like the plan to me.
Yep.
And they might not be able to go that route if the injury,
boy, I would
prevents her from out of the ring.
I wouldn't hate Ruby and Athena though, man. I would not hate that. Even though it's two heels, I would not hate that.
I'd be terrified of the fact of Willow's out, so we're gonna put Sky Blue through instead. And I don't want to see Sky Blue and Athena again. I mean, it was good on ROH, but that's a taped show, and I don't see the appeal in Sky Blue's wrestling ability. She's fine. She's gotten better.
Yeah.
But
she's
just not for me. That's just the long and the short of it.
Speaking of getting better, Julia Hart looked pretty good against a local jobber as well. I think there's going to be some big things.
Bambi Hall.
I think there's going to be some big things in store for Julia Hart, especially being in the House of Black.
She's running like a crazy winning streak too.
Yep.
She's like 23 straight wins or something like that.
A lot of dark wins there.
Well, dark doesn't exist anymore, so she got to rack them up somewhere.
Well, that's where they were built. That's where they started from, though. Yeah.
I mean, there are definitely. The one thing you can ask for the young people of the AEW roster is just every time they get in the ring, they're getting better than the time before. And people like Julie and people like Sky, they're getting better, each time they get into the ring.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing at the end of the day. So that's all you can really hope for.
The epic tag match followed that, and
incredible.
Tony Schiavone interviewing later on, and the best part of that was Dak saying he'll fuzzy wuzzy all over your Regina. He said that. Quote,
I'm not touching it.
Welcome back
touching it
to television. Scorpio Sky taking on Action Andretti, getting a quick win there, and he is
his old theme.
I know, and babyface
reach for the sky,
and babyface Scorpio, as he picked up Andretti after the match, gave him a nice handshake. So, main event: CM Punk, Samoa Joe. Not a bad match, but I was a little disappointed and wanted a little more. I thought.
Why? I thought it was a great match, and will lead to another match between them in the future.
God, it wasn't as epic as I wanted it to be. I thought with a Punk and Joe match, there'd be more to it, and maybe with maybe they're saving that. Maybe they're saving that.
They're saving it. This was a hard hitting affair with Punk getting by the skin of his teeth. Like, that's the story they were telling. Like, Punk survived. Punk didn't defeat Samoa Joe. Punk survived Samoa Joe.
Yeah, he didn't get him up for the GTS.
And they made he got him up, but Joe got out of it.
Yeah, well, he like crumpled. Yeah.
Well, because Joe's elbowing him in the head, you're gonna crumble too if Joe's elbowing you in the head.
Yeah, probably.
To me, the aftermath of the match told the story that this feud is far from over.
And then the great.
I would not be surprised if we see these guys go all the way to a match at All In or All Out.
Yeah,
So
that
like
would be great.
I don't foresee the Punk and Joe story to be over anytime
Well,
soon.
now Punk has a claim to the TV title by getting a win over Joe too down the line. So, and then of course, thanks to Rick Ucchino for putting together this great graphic that popped Matt earlier today. That the punch.
Dude, it's a funny image, man. It's a really funny image. The look on Punk's face is
Uh,
hysterical.
yeah, that was tremendous. Tremendous work there by Riccicino. Since we're on the AEW subject, let's talk Dynamite. Who do you think is going to win the Eliminator tournament? You think it's going to be the MJF and Cole hilarious pairing, or
I
you think
think
it's OC and Darby?
I think I think that's the finals, and I do think it's Cole and MJF.
How hilarious!
The only way it can't be Cole and MJF is if Bullet Club Gold wins the tag titles next week, and I don't foresee that happening.
No, I don't either.
So I mean, if Bullet Club Gold win next week, then Darby and Orange will win. Be due to a miscommunication between Cole and MJF in the finals.
Tell you what,
But
though,
I predict Cole and MJF against FTR.
watching Rampage, Big Bill and Brian Cage make a damn good team, don't they?
A hell of a lot better than Big Bill and Lee Moriarty.
Yeah.
Let Lee Moriarty go out on his own. He don't need to be dragged down by Big Bill. Big Bill and Brian Cage actually works. There's something about those two guys meshing together. That's a tag team that actually works.
Yeah.
So let those guys be a thing. I don't hate that idea.
I thought they kicked ass together. Steven Chambers in the chat. What's with the injury with Willow? We do not know. You said knee strike at the Strong Show. Possibly could be. She lost her title there too, didn't she?
Yeah, Julia beat her ass.
The assumption is maybe a concussion because there's hope that she's going to be able to be cleared for Friday, which Matt says is technically Wednesday because that's when they're going to tape Rampage. Yeah. Do you guys see Mark beating Claudio at the ROH? God, I wish, but
I want him to, and I would be so freaking happy if he did. But I don't see it happening. I just don't.
If they didn't put the TV title on him, I don't know if they're going to put the world title on him. Eventually, I think they will. I think they will. Eventually.
I feel like the Ring of Honor World title is earmarked for Eddie Kingston.
Yep.
I think Eddie will be the man at the end of the day to take the title off Claudio.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be Mark. I'd be really happy if it was, because everything Mark's been through.
Yeah, exactly.
And more than deserves a run with that championship.
And that's why we're all baffled.
I just don't see it happening.
That's why we're all baffled when he didn't win the TV title. We're like, I thought that was a lock.
I was very bummed by that. I don't feel like Joe. I don't feel like there's any reason for Samoa Joe to still be going over to Ring of Honor right now. There's Collision, where he's a big featured talent on a weekly basis. Yeah. We don't need him in Ring of Honor anymore. Whoever his opponent is at Death Before Dishonor, drop the title and remain in AEW. Like, honestly, the quicker we get those titles off these people that are clearly just Tony's clearly just propping Ring of Honor up by using top AEW stars as the title holders. Claudio, Joe, Athena, the Lucha Brothers. They're all main AEW talents, which are using to prop up our ROH right now. They need to put the titles on, legitimate Ring of Honor talent, and then at that point, see if the brand can sink or swim.
And then, it's
especially if they're not going to get the TV deal that everybody thought they were going to get. If you're not going to get the TV deal, don't waste your time.
It's the same thing that WWE is doing with NXT, except NXT's established, or the NXT has established stars to carry those titles. They're bringing in main roster talent to feud with those stars, and hell, Edge is teasing to be there on Tuesday, so that'll be interesting to see if he shows up again. He's already made one appearance on NXT over the past couple of years, so it'll be interesting to see if he shows up. But what do you make of the Chris Jericho, JAS, and Don Callis situation?
I think the JAS has absolutely run its course, and I'm more than happy to see that it's going to end. I think it's very much needed right now. And also, you can't rule out the fact that Sammy and Daniel Garcia might upset Darby and Orange on Wednesday. And they could do a heel versus heel final of MJF and Cole against, Starks and Garcia, because people love Cole. He's a babyface. And even though MJF's a heel, there's a good portion of the audience that loves him too. So you could totally do that match and make it work. And you could have Garcia and Sammy win and challenge FTR. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
I can't rule that out from happening.
That was hilarious. The Garcia dance versus the delete on Wednesday. That was hilarious.
That dance is so dumb.
That dance is great. Shut up.
Dance. I hate the dance.
That dance is great. Yeah, JAS has run its course, but it's funny, Jericho, I run factions. I don't join them, but is he now going to join one? Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I would assume that I don't think Cole and MJF are going to win. I think MJF's going to walk out on Cole either in the semis or the finals of the tournament is my guess.
It's certainly possible.
Yeah. Let's see.
I don't want to see honestly, I don't want to see the vignettes end because
oh my god. And then MJF mimicking Adam Cole coming to the ring was hilarious too.
Yeah, they're funny as hell. And honestly, like whenever they end it, to me, it will likely be too soon. So yeah. I would prefer them to keep going for the entertainment value. But yeah, who knows how far though they're really gonna go.
And main event of Dynamite, great matchup between Kenny Omega and Wheeler Yuta. That was a hell of a finish. And Wheeler Yuta, man, he's evolved, hasn't he?
Hell of a competitor, man.
Steven Chambers in the chat. Wonder Jericho be the mystery partner for the BCC in Blood and Guts, possibly El Desperado. Of course, obviously there is. We might as well just get into it now. One of our news stories was CM Punk pitched to be a part of Blood and Guts. This came out a couple of days ago from Fightful Select, with Bryan Danielson breaking his arm, going to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Obviously, not going to compete at Blood and Guts now. CM Punk offered to get into the match, which of course has a lot of undertones with the whole situation with the Elite, and this could maybe lead to some interesting television. Fightful Select sources. Boy, that's a fun 3 words to say together. Confirmed that Voice of Wrestling's report that Punk pitched himself as a 5th member of Blackpool Combat Club's team. Whether it was serious or not, or whether he expected the offer to be accepted, is not known. But he did express his work to work with the Elite in the past, which we've reported. One source saying neither team wants CM Punk. So that there's that too. So what do you think? Do you think getting the long way to that question, but we threw in the Punk thing there, at least one of the stories we were going to cover today. Who is going to be the 5th? We all expect the Golden Elite, Kota Ibushi.
Kota Ibushi, absolutely on the side of the Elite. To me, the person who makes the most sense for the opposite side is Pac. Because we haven't seen him since the best of 7.
How's he fit in, though?
Since the trios thing against the Elite, who broke his face and put him on the shelf for several months.
Okay.
I think Pac fits in very easily into this match as someone who wants to see the Elite go bye-bye.
Boy, I still would love.
To me, if I'm picking a person for the BCC side, it's Pac.
I'd love it to be Punk, but yeah.
Well, it's not Punk because they already said that the people were the mystery people have been locked in for weeks.
Mark Cho thinking
before Punk even
Chris
pitched
Hero
to put himself in. Chris Hero would be cool. I don't think it's going to happen because I think Chris Hero would get too much of a babyface pop.
Yep.
To show up and do that, and they're not looking to get a positive reaction on the Bullet Club. I'm not the Bullet Club. On the Blackpool Combat Club side of things. So,
same initials.
Yeah.
Suzuki. I mean, if Suzuki's going to be in the country,
I don't foresee that happening.
I don't think he's going to be either. I don't know. I would like. Obviously, Jericho is a.
I think Jericho was a red herring.
He's a veteran.
I think Jericho was teased, and everybody's like, "Well, if Jericho's in, that means he's wrestled in every Blood and Guts match AEW's had." I just don't see. I don't see Tony going out of his way to force Jericho into this match because honestly, that's kind of be what they'd be doing.
Shoehorning him in.
They would be forcing him in there for no other reason than just to say, "Oh, look, Jericho's been in every single Blood and Guts match." I think it's better to keep him out, let him do things, with the crumbling JAS. Let him tease the stuff with Callis. Just because he's teasing stuff with Callis doesn't mean he needs to side with the BCC, because Callis's family, quote unquote, isn't officially part of Blackpool Combat Club from what they've stated so far anyway. So like Takeshita's not, part of that group yet, like not officially anyway.
He's
So
Callis's guy, so
yeah, so we'll see where it goes. I think Pac makes the most sense. Chris Hero would be fun, but I think it would get the wrong reaction that AEW is looking for going into that match.
Moving into some WWE talk, Bray Wyatt update here from Fightful Select. This actually just dropped earlier today. Bray Wyatt still is not set to return. He's been sidelined since late February with an illness that has prevented him from getting cleared for in-ring action. Unknown what the illness is. When Fightful Select inquired about his status, a higher-up from WWE confirmed that Wyatt is still sidelined and not cleared for action. We're told he's still awaiting clearance and hopeful for a return whenever that occurs. So hopefully, when they bring him back, that there's a better focus to his work and get a little more to the point as well with some of these, with a feud or whatever, and obviously include Bo Dallas in there with Uncle Howdy and kind of get the ball rolling, hopefully. So. But whatever it is, man, hopefully Bray can get past it. It's really, obviously we don't need to know what his illness or whatever is, that's not our business.
Honestly, it's none of our business.
No.
Like I've heard things, but you can't validate them or confirm them. I hope he's all right. I hope he gets healthy, and I hope he gets back to where he needs to be. And I hope when he returns to the television that he'll be the Bray Wyatt that we loved.
Yeah.
When he first returned, instead of the drawn out story that seemingly wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I hope with the time away, it would give him and creative a better plan in order to develop a proper return for him. So
yeah, we'll have to see. We also got an update on this guy right here, Johnny Gargano. Gargano has not been seen on TV for a while, leading to speculate on his status, and Fightful was given an answer. On Monday, there was a report noting that Gargano was still injured and wouldn't be competing at SummerSlam. They could not confirm his status for SummerSlam or the status of the planned DIY angle, but can confirm that Gargano is no longer injured. He was factored into recent creative plans for WWE. He was backstage at Raw when they were in Cleveland. Obviously, tonight is Ciampa and Miz, no DQ. Maybe Miz brings in some goons. Maybe that's when we get DIY's reunion tonight. Maybe
that's what I would do. I'd do it tonight. I'm not saying they're going to, but that's what I would do.
Yeah, Steven, I miss that. I love the Cape Fear gimmick, the original Wyatt gimmick. That was a lot of fun. It was unique. Reminded me a lot of a guy that didn't really get a big run in WWE, or maybe it was ahead of his time, Dan Spivey, when he was Waylon Mercy. I thought that gimmick was a little bit of ahead of its time, and didn't really get the chance that it did because of the time. But yeah, Sammy and KO against DIY. We might be getting a little tag team match of the year competition from this past Saturday if we get this at SummerSlam. That's for damn sure. So hopefully Gargano returns tonight. That'd be beautiful. There is a update on this guy right here, Mr. Drew McIntyre. And the update is there is not an update yet on his extension. There's not been any talks yet in regards to Drew McIntyre's contract status. It is set to end early in 2024, and they're not entering talks yet, and we're halfway through 2023. Matt, are you a little worried?
No, because WWE supposedly hasn't hired a main roster talent in the entire year. So if they're not hiring new talent, they're probably not looking to sign new deals to main roster talent either.
Okay.
They're probably being very careful on all that kind of stuff until this merger with UFC and Endeavor's done. And I'm sure it will be done, before. I would assume it'll be done before the end of the year. And at that point, they'll probably open up, contract talks and things of that nature, signing new people to come in. But up until that point, they're trying to be smart with their money. I get what they're doing, but it might be detrimental to the company long term. We'll see what happens.
And we got just a couple more things left here before we roll out. We already talked about it, but I'll bring it up again just because we got an interview fresh on Believe in Pro Wrestling.
I'm pretty sure he said he was going to be at next week's Raw.
Yes, I'm sorry, 7/17. Yeah, I need to edit that.
And I also don't know. I don't know if he meant he was going to be there as in on television, or if he's just going to be like there as a fan. And even if he's there as a fan, they might say, "Hey, there's Stephen Amell in the front row." Blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but
he's mixed it up.
He's good friends with Cody, so I mean, it would make sense for him
he's mixed it up in the WWE. He's mixed it up in the WWE before, and he's done good. He's done a great job.
My thing is, if WWE doesn't advertise him, he's not there as part of WWE. He's just going as a fan.
Yeah, because guess who else is on that?
They don't announce his arrival within the next 5 days.
Yeah,
he's going because he's a fan. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Guess who else is on that show? So yeah, they may not want to promote heels.
I didn't even think about that, but you might be right.
Yeah, a Brock gonna attack Amell, maybe. I mean, I would put it past. I mean, Amell
would take. I guarantee you, Amell's the type of dude that would take that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's in the plans. And you're absolutely right with the people that are on heels. I wonder if WWE would even want to help promote the thing. I didn't even think about that until you said it.
Yeah, right.
But with both Punk and AJ Lee on the second season, yeah, that might be a hard sell for WWE to want to get behind and promote.
Yeah, that's the kicker into that. But
I think they have a lot more likelihood of chance of AEW plugging it,
but
in the coming weeks than WWE.
But you could still maybe not mention heels.
Well, I mean, they could work around it and not mention them at all. But I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes.
Yeah, and I read that wrong. It's I got into a time warp thinking today was 7/17, but no, today's 7/10. So next Monday he'll be in Atlanta, GA, home of the roads. So we're gonna do one final thing tonight. We're gonna end a little early here, but we got one final thing. We are now two weeks into it. AEW Fight Forever. It's come out. There's Stadium Stampede is on the way. And first off, let's kick it to Matt, who's had a even more in-depth look,
I've had it for almost a month now.
Yeah, with the game. So with it 2 months after release, what are your thoughts? Or 2 weeks after release, what are your thoughts on the game right now?
Gameplay wise, I love it. I love the pick up and play nature. I can pick up and play a couple quick matches anytime I want. I think the gameplay is a lot of fun. It's what I've been waiting for from a modern day wrestling game for a very long time. It very much feels like a blend of No Mercy and Here Comes the Pain. I think I enjoy the hell out of it. I think the online works surprisingly well, and I feel like it had to, in order to be introduced in a mode like Stadium Stampede, which is going to have 30 people fighting that out online at once. You better damn well hope your one-on-one matches work well online. The party setup online is really fun. You can do the mini games, and you can spectate your friends' matches and stuff. They do a lot of great things. I wish Road to Elite as a story mode was a bit deeper. I wish it had more replay value. 3 to 5 runs on that thing. Honestly, you'll see everything that mode could possibly have to offer. But if you want to unlock all the mini games, you need to complete Road to Elite 13 times. So it's just like, come on. The creation modes suck. Like let's call a spade a spade. They're not good, but they have the potential. There's groundwork there that if they continue to add parts in options and stuff we could get good things out of that. We're getting new arenas, we're getting new modes, we're getting new characters. You know, we're getting all that stuff in the future. It's just what they decide to include will determine the long-term success of like what you get out of the creation mode. But at its core, the gameplay, it's fun. It's a great game. It's very enjoyable, and I've been playing it for almost a month straight now. I don't normally go out of my way for trophies on PlayStation, but I just platinumed that bitch today.
Nice.
So I think that might be my first ever platinum trophy ever.
I have
just
almost
because
50.
I've enjoyed the game that much.
I have almost 50. So
yeah, it's a blast. I highly recommend the game.
For me to get the platinum, I need to get better.
Get good, JP.
I know, because winning on Elite is going to be tough. Yeah, I created a wrestler. I liked, obviously you're not going to get the created wrestler is lacking in terms of being able to recreate an actual person. But I created my own character, which was, had some great stuff. Entrances and the pyro and the stuff. I have this badass finisher. I don't know what it is, but you put him up, you put his feet up on the turnbuckle and you lift him up and then you just like strike him down. I don't.
That's what was Wardlow's old finish.
Was that Wardlow's old? Okay, so that's what I used as my finisher, just because it's badass.
He still has it as a finisher in the game. It's his corner finisher. He still has it, but he hasn't done it on TV in a while. But that was one of his earlier stuff when he was killing the job guys that you didn't know. Like he would literally end some matches with that on Dark. Like he would hit the move and the ref would stop the match. Because the job guy would act like he was killed.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, he's done. We call it off. And yeah, it's a sick move. Very sick move.
Looks cool in the game too. The reviews are pretty meddling, pretty middle of the road. But if you look at the critic reviews, 25 mixed reviews compared to 9 positive, but then in 5 negative. But if you look at the user reviews this is PS5 only, 14 positive to 8 negative. So, I mean, the users are enjoying it. Xbox Series X, basically about the same, middle of the road for critics, but 11 to 6 for positive to negative on the user side. The users are loving it. It is a very fun game to play. It's a very fun wrestling game to play, just in terms of trying to mix up your moves so you can get a better momentum and then get your signature off or set up for your special. And the gameplay is a lot of fun. I've not tried online yet.
We gotta do that together soon.
Yeah, I've gone through Road to the Elite with twice, I think now. I've started my third.
I've got all the mini games unlocked on both Steam and PlayStation 5, so we can do some mini game craziness online if you want to.
The mini games are sweet. I like them.
Fun. They're fun.
They are a lot of fun.
I got 17 of them right now. So,
what's your favorite mini game?
Probably the Join Us, the new Dark Order one that came in with the DLC. You got to run around and throw the mask on the fans who are running around. That's fucking hilarious.
Mostly positive on PC under Steam. So 672 votes, mostly positive. That's got to tell you, don't listen to the critics. And God, what else is there? Yeah, for me, I'm gonna get the trophies eventually. I just gotta get a little better on the elite difficulty. But with that said, we're gonna wrap things up a little early here tonight, so you can get ready, get prepared for Monday Night Raw. Once again, make sure you check out the Believe in Pro Wrestling YouTube channel for Rick Ucchino's interviews with the cast of Heels. And we will be back at you next week with the best of what we saw in pro wrestling. Enjoy the week. For Matt Black, this is Jeremy Bennett. Thank you for tuning in to Lost to the Midcard, brought to you by Bet Online.